Locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A partly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Wasn't so sunny a little bit earlier this morning. It was downright crazy out there. A lot of folks just didn't realize how much snow we were going to wind up getting. About 3 inches of snow when we left the house, the back 40 in Richville. The closer you get to Saginaw, a little bit less. And over in Midland, they were looking at about a half inch or so. And then you got a little bit further north, and there was absolutely nothing to talk about. Further south, though, along that 69 corridor, quite a bit of snow. In some cases, we have had reports of upwards of 4 inches, 5 inches down there. And then you get a little bit closer to Detroit, and the amount of snow tapers off rather dramatically. Matter of fact, Owasso earlier this morning did report 5 inches. Durand had 4. Genesee County looking at pretty much 2 and 3 inches. Whitmore Lake down in the Livingston County area just north of Ann Arbor, they had 3 inches on the ground. Ann Arbor had 1 inch. Manchester had 2. And then, as we said, a little bit further north, you get a trace to nothing. Now, as we go through the remainder of the day today, we are going to see some clouds around, and a little bit more snow is going to flare up as we go into the later afternoon hours in northern Michigan. So there are some advisories, some special weather advisories posted for a number of our smaller towns in northern Michigan, Grayling, Gaylord, and then areas to the east, and then that lake effect area in the northwest, because we are going to be looking at the winds changing direction. Right now, we are looking at pretty much a calm breeze at MBS International with 22 degrees. Here at Radio Center, still some light snow reported around 22 degrees. We have just a light southeast breeze, southwest breeze in Midland, where it's currently 25. Downtown Bay City is looking at 22. And as we said, going through the afternoon, we're going to see a little bit of sun, and then we're going to also see some snow shower activity, which will be moving into the northwestern corner of the Lower Peninsula within the next couple of hours. And that strip of snow is going to work its way down through the northern 2/3 of the Lower Peninsula as we approach the evening hours tonight. So our high temperature, if we're lucky, will be 32 degrees. I think that's going to be about it. We will have a north breeze becoming a west breeze. We're looking for the winds to pick up as we go through the afternoon, and that's why there is going to be that chance of lake effect activity earlier this evening after sunset. Now, partly cloudy skies after midnight. There will be partly cloudy skies during the day tomorrow, but man alive, it is going to feel like January weather, actually below normal for January. Tonight's low 15, tomorrow's high 22. Light snow early, again, a function of that lake effect type activity, and that northwest wind tomorrow, 20 to 25 miles per hour tomorrow with 22 degrees. So if you've got some outdoor plans, you better dress accordingly. 14 for a low tomorrow night. It does appear right now as though we're going to see maybe not too much in the way of snow showers, snow flurry activity tomorrow night, but it will turn into, once again, mostly cloudy. And cloudy for the day on Sunday. Maybe a chance of a little light snow early on Sunday, right around sunrise or so. 42 degrees is going to be our high on Sunday, and our low Sunday night will only drop down to about 33. Then on Monday, mostly cloudy, 52. Partly cloudy Monday night, 50 for a low on Monday night. Then Tuesday, right around 50 degrees. The temperature isn't going to move too much from Sunday night all the way through Monday into Tuesday morning. Low 30s on Tuesday night, Mostly cloudy, 58 on Wednesday, 44 for a low Wednesday night. And then Thursday, we're going to move into the 60s, about 62, 63. So the old spring itch is going to move in as we go into the work week next week, all the way through the 24th of the month. Once we get past this little bump coming up here for the weekend, we are looking for our temperatures to average above normal, precipitation values above normal as well. We're going to have, once again, a series of low pressure systems. These are going to be riding along southern Canada. So that's why we're going to see warmer temperatures. But again, chances of precipitation as more Gulf moisture is going to try to work its way up into the central part of the country. Record high in the state is 68. That was set back in 1927 and then tied in 1977. The record low is 0, set back in 1948. A year ago today, 64 was our high, 39 was our low. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. We're going to touch base with Cody Harris over at Star of the West and find out what's going on there. But before we do that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Cody Harris joining me right now from Star of the West. Cody, good morning. How are you?
We're doing well this morning, Terry. How about yourself?
Hey, not too bad. You made it into work in one piece. Kind of an interesting drive this morning, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was a nasty little drive in with that. It seemed like there's a little bit of an ice rink underneath that snow that we got here. Definitely a little more snow than I thought we were going to get, Terry.
Yeah, a little bit more. We've had a little bit more action in Chicago than we thought would happen here. I mean, I have to think that a lot of us just kind of thought that volatility was going to settle down just a little bit. It hasn't. It just keeps going. What's going on today?
Well, Terry, today we're kind of bouncing a little bit in the wheat market and kind of are sliding for the last 3 days. It seems like we're bouncing in the green here today. Corn and soybeans are definitely quiet as far as the volatility has been trading the last couple of weeks or so. Corn's just around even. Soys are down just a little bit. Looking at everything the way it sits right now, we got cash wheat that's up 12, 10.27 on the white, 9.32 on the red. New crop wheat's up 12 as well. 10.27 on the white, 9.32 on the red. Look over at cash corn, that's up 1 at 6.97. New crop corn, that's down 3 right now at 5.94. Look over at soybeans. Cash soybeans are down 9 at 16.12, and new crop soybeans are down 4 at 14.23.
It seemed like by the hour, Cody, we were just jumping all over the place all week long. Some of the factors that have really influenced the market over the past week, obviously one of them being the Ukrainian situation over there, but we've had a few other reports too, haven't we?
Yeah, we definitely had a USDA report that came out on Wednesday, the March USDA report. Kind of, I would say, one of those no-show reports, kind of came up with some numbers, ending stocks from last year as far as shipments and demand. I mean, nothing really changed from what traders were expecting or off the previous report. So that shook the market maybe just for a quick second, but definitely the wheat market's kind of been taken over as far as that news is concerned. The market was really following that the last 3 or 4 days. A lot of that, I guess, even if you look at the wheat market right now, bouncing back a little bit, but we're on a slippery slope down the last 3 days. And, nothing really fundamentally, was bearish the past, 4 days, or at least any news that changed from that. The only thing that seems to be a little bit different is what really caused that run up was a lot of speculative trading in the markets. You get the Ukraine-Russia situation. You got a lot of speculative traders that dove right into the wheat market, and you're starting to see them make that market really volatile. And also, as they exit too, they make it very volatile, and that's across the board. Corn, soybeans, and wheat affecting that. So that's why you're seeing this really volatile market as people in and out and trying to balance out positions more or less on the speculative side of things.
And our basis, we keep moving around on that, don't we?
Yeah, look at basis. That more or less goes from the volatility as well, especially earlier this week because, we had wheat that was lock limits kind of in both directions. So you had to find some liquidity there. So across the countryside, not even in our region, basis has been shuffling around trying to find what the true market is and just what can actually be traded. So that's definitely been jumping. Definitely seems to be more stable the last couple of days, but it's definitely kind of almost changing day to day in the wheat market. In addition to the corn, soybeans, you're seeing kind of some corn movement, cash movement, kind of be updated as we're getting some updated news from South America, getting maybe some beneficial rains down there. Oh, I think I looked this morning and it said, Argentina's crop was at 25% good to excellent. That's up 23% from last week. So the rains that they got last week is definitely benefiting that crop down there. And you're definitely seeing some basis changes even up here be affected by that as we're the backstop for that production.
Have a good weekend, Cody. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it.
No problem, Terry. You as well.
I will. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining me. The Market Report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. If you're looking for a new Ram commercial truck or van, get it from a dealer that's been around since 1852. They know trucks and vans, so you can buy with confidence where family and service sells cars. They are the Great Lakes Bay Area certified ag dealer. That is Schaefer and Beerline. And by Thumb Bank, serving the needs of farmers for well over 125 years. 2 locations in Bay City. Also Cassidy, Caseville, Pigeon, and Bad Axe. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Doug Klein wrapping the week up.
I think everybody's kind of sort of checked out already, heading for therapy. just to calm their nerves. For
good suggestion. We need a good neck crack right now, I'll tell you.
So crude oil's bouncing a little bit, $3. The heating oil not really coming back at all, $3.31, and the gasoline is $3.29. That's up about 14 cents. So again, justifies maybe $3.95 at the pump. So maybe next week we'll see some relief. But yeah, everything else is just kind of muddling a little bit here and there, but nothing big. Here's your numbers. The May corn, $7.57, up a penny and a quarter. December corn, $6.50, down 1 3/4. And then September corn, 23 corn, is $5.88 and a quarter, down 5 1/4. The May wheat or soybeans, $16.74, down 12 1/4. November soybeans, $14.85 3/4, down 6 1/2. And then November of 23 soybeans, $13.13 1/2. That's down 1/2 penny. The May wheat is $10.94 1/4, up 7 1/4. December wheat $7.89 3/4, up 12 3/4. And then July of 23 wheat is $8.38. That's up 4 cents. The crude oil is $105.88, up $2.89 a barrel. Heating oil is $329.92. That's up 0.3 penny. Gasoline is $329.25. That's up 13 1/2 cents. Natural gas is $4.79 1/2. That's up 12 1/2 cents. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you 127.21 at the border. That's down 46 ticks. The yen is at 117.12. That's up 100 ticks. The euro is at 109.41, down 42 ticks. The dollar's at 98.87. That's up 37 ticks. Gold is at 1982.80, down 15.30 an ounce. Silver's at 26.09, down 11 cents. And platinum's at 1093.80. That's down $1.40.
You have a good weekend, Doug.
Yep, thanks. You too.
You bet. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Along with me right now, I've got Kim Weiss at Lingle Equipment here in Saginaw. And Kim, from what I understand, there's some good news over there. You've actually got some inventory available right now.
That's right, Terry. We did have some trucks come in, and they brought some Kubota tractors in, and one of the biggest models that we sell is our subcompact line. And we just recently received some 23-horse tractors with loaders. And we also got one that's a BX23 with a backhoe on it, tractor, loader, and backhoe. Beautiful little tractors. And I was going to say, if this would have been 24 hours ago, I would have said spring is just around the corner. But I think Mother Nature changed our mind overnight a little bit. But I can't emphasize enough is to call me ahead of time. Spring's going to be here. It's going to come sooner or later. And if you're looking for a tractor this springtime, give me a call, 989-754-7801, or stop in and see us and let's work something out. Let's get it on paper. So as they roll in, we can start filling orders and getting them back out to you. Kubota's got the 0% interest rate for 60 months. They've got rebates, even with the 0%. So come on in and sit down with me. Let's sit down and figure something out so that when the weather breaks and it starts getting nice and you want to get some projects done around the house, we can get her done and get her done right the first time.
And again, how to get a hold of you, Kim?
Either stop in and see us. We're right alongside I-75 just south of Zilwaukee Bridge off the Washington Road exit, or give me a call at 989-754-7801, or send me an email at k.weiss, W-E-I-S-S, at lingo1.com.
Kim Weiss, have a great weekend, okay?
Hey, Terry, and we're going to have Tiger baseball before you know it.
You bet. Get ready.
Yep.
Talk to you later.
Yep.
Kim Weiss over at Lingle Equipment. When we return, Galen Beer will be joining me with AgroLiquid. We're going to talk a little bit about spring.
A good grower always knows the forecast. And with interest rates forecasted to rise in the near future, there's never been a better time to lock in a historically low rate on a new irrigation system at your local Zematic dealer. For a limited time, get an additional 1% interest rate discount on already low financing and the earliest delivery dates in the industry. So your new Zematic pivot is ready to roll this spring. Terms and conditions apply. See your local dealer or visit lindsay.com/spring sale for full details.
Over the past couple of days, we've been talking about how warm everything was a year ago. I mean, we were running 50s, low 60s, breaking all sorts of high temperature records this time of the year a year ago. With me, Galen Beer with AgroLiquid. Galen, next week, we're going to be looking at 50s and 60s. I got a funny feeling some guys are really going to have the itch for spring. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Terry. It's going to be warmer, and the calendar's also starting to get everyone anticipating that spring's coming. So, yep, guys are going to be looking to what they need to do.
And, of course, a lot of guys are going to be looking at the wheat. If they planted wheat last fall, they're going to be taking a look and seeing what they can make happen. What are you suggesting right now, Galen?
Yeah, well, Terry, I'll tell you, we got a different scenario this year. I've always kind of looked at wheat in, Michigan as a rotational crop. And it's a little bit different this year just because of problems in the wheat belt and obviously the Russia-Ukrainian conflict. We're seeing now that wheat prices have rallied, and there's probably opportunity for it to provide some in-summer cash flow to farmers that maybe is a little bit better than what they've experienced. So I think right now the wheat's going to try to kind of break dormancy here when these temperatures warm up, and I prefer that guys get out there and get some fertilizer on right away. So nitrogen obviously is going to rise to the top of that discussion. It's also one of those supply chain challenged nutrients right now, but they can use, ammonium sulfate, urea. We have our high energy in. We have some options if growers would like to look at that. But my suggestion is get on top of it right now. Get that plan in place because everyone's going to go to the rush at the same time, and every acre can't be done at the same time.
Galen, you have a good weekend. Travel safely. I know you're down at Commodity Classic, and you're going to be heading back. So take care. We'll talk to you again soon. All right?
All right. Sounds good. Seeing a few Michigan farmers down here.
Yeah, I guess. Galen Beer with AgroLiquid.
How do you make the most of your land? Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask the Wrens or the Caggianos, who run with us on John Deere mowers, They'd tell you.
I mow first, then I do all the trimming.
Get as much done in advance as possible.
I jump out of the house, a cup of coffee, and I'm at work.
But the Upshaws, the Hubbards, and the Allens who work behind the wheel of John Deere compact tractors would say,
something that's worth doing isn't always easy.
If it's something you want, just go after it and try it.
And most of all,
I'll make the earth take the shape that I want it to take.
Then there's the Nelsons and the Mosers, who may mention from the seat of their Gator UTVs.
It's important to just take it one day at a time.
You can't be all working up, right?
The most fun we have on the Gator is just ripping around the property.
It's a way of life.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Contact one of Tri-County Equipment's 11 locations in Bad Axe, Birch Run, Burton, Carroll, Benton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Rochester Hills, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit Tri-County Equipment online at tricountyequipment.com.
Galen was talking about getting all the ducks in a row here for spring. Along with me, Chuck Cervinsky, Maple Hill Nursery in Midland. Chuck, plant materials, you've got it right now?
We're getting it in soon. We're going to start seeing our first shipments right at the last week of March. And this year, things are really going to be in tight supply. We had to order very early last year in April and May for this year. And with freight rates and the way sales have been the last 2 years, there's some things that are just not going to be real plentiful this year. So if you want something, you need to start to think about committing to it now.
Garden projects and outdoor living. I understand you've got a pretty good slug of inventory right now.
Yes, we do. We've really beefed it up on the outdoor living side. Again, availability on some of the products is tight because they come from China and the Orient. And so it's really important that if you want to order something, to get in here now and do it, because with the warm weather we've got coming next week, that's really going to kick it into high gear. In another 2 or 3 weeks, the lead times are going to be out of sight.
Boy, you got that right. Chuck Cervinsky, you take care. Chuck Cervinsky with Maple Hill Nursery.
How would you like to earn up to $1,000 a week? Star of the West Milling is looking for hardworking, self-motivated people to join the team for the 2022 spring season. Star of the West is seeking general laborers and tender truck drivers. A career opportunity open house will be held Wednesday, March 16th from 4 till 7 p.m. at Star of the West in Emmett, 10730 North Railroad Street. No appointment is necessary. Just come by to the office at 4 p.m. You must be able to pass a DOT physical and drug screen. No CDL licenses are required but preferred.
We now conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Steve Kathan. The U.S. is banning Russian vodka, seafood, and diamonds, part of a new round of sanctions from President Biden that also includes a new tact with allied help.
After he announced the U.S. and its allies in the G7 and Europe would remove Russia from their lists of normalized trading partners, the president was asked about the possibility that Vladimir Putin might order the use of chemical weapons in Ukraine.
Russia would pay a severe price if they use chemicals.
Earlier, he said this about the prospect of a direct military engagement between Russia and the West.
Direct confrontation between NATO and Russia is World War III.
Something he says the Allies must strive to prevent. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
The Russian military effort has expanded in Ukraine with increased airstrikes and new attacks in the western part of the country. When it comes to the capital, Kyiv, there's defiance from Vladimir Klitschko, the former heavyweight boxing champ and brother of the mayor.
We're ready to defend our city.
CBS's Charlie D'Agata says there's evidence Russian troops may be closing in on that